She-Hulk on Disney Plus. Um, yeah, I mean, why don't we just start off? Were you looking forward to She-Hulk?
Um, that's a great question. I think in a vacuum, I was because I think it introduces a once again tantalizing presence of Marvel doing something new. Marvel legal comedy, low stakes Marvel show, low stakes Marvel anything. Sign me up for that. Sounds great. Tatiana Maslany. I like her a lot. She was great on Perry Mason, Emmy winner for Orphan Black. Sounds like good casting. Marvel usually does great with casting. Not surprising. Yeah, that all sounds good. Now, whether the show is actually going to be those things I was promised it was going to be, I have no fucking clue. Because in the beginning, you have this huge sequence with Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo back as the OG Hulk, Smart Hulk, he calls himself now. Is that what the show is going to be, or are we going to settle in to that like workplace legal comedy? I don't know yet. We've only seen the first episode. We know there's going to be other MCU cameos of various stature coming in with Wong and Abomination, Tim Roth coming back from '08 Incredible Hulk, and also Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, Daredevil, coming back. Makes sense. He's also a lawyer. So, how much will it really get to be itself versus servicing all these other MCU threads? I don't know. But the idea of it, I like. But I also like the idea of Moon Knight, and I didn't like Moon Knight by the end of it.
Um, yeah, I think I wouldn't say I was necessarily like looking forward to it. I feel like when it comes to the shows at this point, I don't find myself getting super hyped. I think that's one because of the varying levels of success that the shows have had, and I think just quality of the shows, but also I think unless they're really doing something weird and intriguing, I don't find myself super bought in, and I don't know if I feel totally convinced that they're going to fully commit to the legal comedy show here.
Yeah.
And the first episode only further like solidifies those fears for me because we got a pretty straightforward origin story. We It's a little bit more tongue in cheek with a lot of fourth wall breaking.
Right.
Jennifer Walters, speaks directly to the camera, talking, making jokes that are very meta jokes. Is Steve Rogers a virgin? Like the internet meme,
Yes.
discourse, which is funny, but it just kind of leaves me like, I get that they're trying to be a little more edgy, a little bit funnier, but I don't know if I
Right.
fully trust Marvel to really lean into what they say they're going to do.
To their credit, that is coming from the comics. The She-Hulk comic talks to the reader and actually did that before Deadpool ever did. That being said, you're right. We need to see Marvel Studios do this correctly, do this well, convincingly, whatever, before I get invested in it working. And I also need to see one of these MCU shows that doesn't clearly just feel like a setup and stat padding for an eventually more significant role and performance in a movie to come out at a later date.
Hmm.
Does that not
Completely agree.
describe every single one of the Marvel shows to this point? At least some of them had other qualities, like Loki and WandaVision, but the rest more or less just felt like a setup, right? Setting up Kate Bishop, setting up Moon Knight, setting up Miss Marvel, setting up She Hulk. Here we are once again. So I think Tatiana Maslany is a nice choice. She's a talented actor. You want to
Yeah.
hire talented actors for your franchises. We know that. And I'm sure whatever future movie thing she is in will be intriguing. Also important to note that the film rights for the Hulk, Incredible Hulk, have been complicated this entire run of Marvel because Universal actually is in the mix for distributing that. That's why we've never got another Hulk movie after '08. That's why the Planet Hulk storyline was more or less serviced via Thor Ragnarok, right? So She Hulk is kind of like Marvel's out to doing the Hulk. We assume Banner and Ruffalo are at the end of their rope as an OG person in the MCU. So She Hulk's like a new path forward, new and honestly probably a more interesting version, right? Definitely a more quite popular comic character, but that fourth wall breaking, the more humorous aspect to it. So I am cautiously optimistic, but again, you really have no way of knowing where the show's gonna go after the first episode. And we've, as you said, we've seen a few of these at this point to know that it's hard to get your hopes up. I think for the narrative, you know, stakes being too high, and that's not necessarily the creator's fault. It feels more like a management problem.
Mhm.
Um, there's a lot made of the VFX with this, especially with the trailer. I don't know about you, but I didn't really mind it all that much. I think going in, I'm kind of assuming like, yeah, probably the She-Hulk CGI will be a little bit rougher than the Hulk CGI because they've had the Hulk CGI for a while. They kind of have those models and stuff, right? This is from scratch, so yep, it'll probably get better over time. But I don't know. I wasn't distracted by it at all. I actually thought the Hulk fight, was actually pretty solid for TV standards.
Yeah, especially hearing the criticisms of the VFX going in, I was kind of looking for it, and I didn't see anything that felt egregious. Nothing like the Aquaman sand, which will forever be my lowest bar. So if it doesn't come close to that, I'm pretty satisfied. Um, I I thought the VFX was okay, and I actually, for as much as I'm bagging on it, I really enjoyed certain moments of this. I thought Tatiana and Mark Ruffalo really had good chemistry and played off each other really well. And obviously, they spent a lot of time together, so I thought that was a fun way to kind of introduce the character and give her, immediate credibility with Ruffalo playing right across from her. I really thought um the her discovering her powers but not having the same issues that Bruce Banner has was
Yes.
really funny, the way that they kind of talked
Hmm.
about it all, and also like really smart commentary on the issues that most women face in the world. I
Yes.
probably could
Oh
say
yeah.
all women face in the world, and how that's kind of almost like prepared her to be a better Hulk right from the get go.
Right. Oh.
Um,
Oh, I have to watch my anger and keep it in. Oh wow, never done that before. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Literally, oh, I have to worry about being scared. Being a woman in the world is scary. Like, I thought that was all really smart and well done. Um, and yeah, then I also like really liked how she does get a little bit of a courtroom moment near the end. Obviously leads to Titania showing up, Jamila Jamil, who
Hmm.
I'm excited. I really haven't seen her doing much since The Good Place, so
Yeah, that's right.
I loved her on that. I obviously really like her husband and the music he makes. So maybe we'll get a little James Blake in this. Who knows?
That's right.
But man, I think overall, like, I'm like cautiously optimistic. Would love it if they really lean into the courtroom drama of it all. I just, again, I need to see Marvel do it before I think I trust them fully.
Totally. Also, Renee Elise Goldsberry is also on the show. I'm not exactly sure what she's up to, but once again, they have the talent for the show. We, like you said, we got to see it.